TNT Unfiltered. Tyler Freed and Tim Lombardo.
Welcome to TNT Unfiltered, episode 5. I'm Tyler Freed.
Tim Lombardo.
Tim, we're going to talk a little bit about people that have the credit and they're ready to go on that part, but they're struggling with the down payment. I think this is coming up a lot right now. What are you hearing from your potential buyers?
Yeah, it's a good question. And so last time we talked about credit, right? Credit, like once you've got qualifying credit, you can now purchase a home. All kinds of different loan programs out there, right? And so I'll kind of look at them from a standpoint of biggest myth out there, I need 20% down. No, you don't. And that's starting to kind of get out so people understand you don't need 20% down, right? So you can do your own down payment with as little as 3%. So you're borrowing a $500,000 house, you about 15 grand. And then the other thing you can do is you can also get a gift, okay, from mom, dad, aunt, uncle. Somebody's going to give you a gift for the down payment. And then the last one is there's also down payment assistance loans. There's quite a few of those out there. The number one in our state is called the Washington State Housing Finance Commission.org, I think it is. And you can go on there, and basically what they do is they give you the down payment. Okay, they give that down payment to you, 0 payments, 0 interest for 30 years. Okay, so you just have to have found a way to pay it off by the time you either pay off the house or sell it. When you sell it, the money has to be paid back. But think of it like I'm making you a loan that I'm never going to claim until you sell the house.
Right. And let's go back to these clients that need to borrow money, right? So that gift letter that comes out from family members, how does that look? And they need to make sure that, on there it says that this is a gift, this is not a loan.
Yeah. So there's a couple things with that is people always think, I'm going to write up a gift letter. Well, it's got to be the lender's form, not your own. You can't just go on Word doc and create it yourself.
Right.
Okay, we send those out, we authenticate them. Typically, we have people gift the money directly to escrow. So what will happen a lot of times is they'll get someone to say, hey, I'm getting ready to shop for a house, and my mom in Illinois or someplace else gave me money last month. Well, how much did they give you? Well, they gave me 20 grand. Okay, well, that's fine, but then we have to source, do some sourcing. So it's not the end of the world, but I always say I would rather do it up front, like when we're talking, than have someone just jump the gun and start gifting it.
Creative ways, right? Because we're seeing a lot of people make a good amount of money, but everything's going up that we've talked about with affordability in previous episodes. Using the 401k. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so here's what we see a lot of people doing, and there's a couple ways to look at this, and so I think we might have talked about this on a previous episode, or it might have been a past client. So a 401k is a great way to save money. Everybody loves to look at it because it's a little nest egg. I protect it. I can't take it every month. If my bills run shy, I don't just reach into it and grab money, right? So that's why 401ks grow, because they're very hard to access those funds.
True.
That's why they grow, right? I can't get to it every month. I don't have a checking account off of it. So that's like the good part about a 401k. The downside mentally is, let's just say I have 100 grand in my 401k or 80 grand, pick the number, okay? And I love looking at it. But if I were to take 50 grand from that 401k and put it into the house, I still have $100,000.
Right.
Okay, I just have 50 in my 401k and 50 in the equity in my house. Now, people could say, well, yeah, but that 50 would have been in my 401k making me, 10% a year, which is a great return, right? Well, that's true. You would have made 10% on 50 grand, but now you put 50 grand into a $500,000 house, and I'm getting 4% on the 500.
Right.
So 4% on 500 is a whole lot better than 10 on 50.
Right.
It's astronomical. Every time I run the numbers for various different scenarios for my clients, it's usually like a 4 or 5x greater return on the house than it could have ever been in your 401k.
And that's a really good tip. We got to get creative right now, right? So being able to use that and utilize it, and like we said, they're not printing any more houses, right?
They're
not printing going down.
They're not printing more houses. When we just look at the market dynamic, right?
Yeah.
It's like I look at some of these loans I did back in 15 and 16, and it's like a $2,000 payment was kind of run of the mill. Anymore now it's closer to 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've kind of doubled our payments in, what is that, about 5-6 years now, 7 years, which is a pretty big run up. And then we have this spot where the government prints a bunch of money, okay, a bunch of money goes into the economy, and then as a result, they also drop rates. So now prices went up. Everybody could borrow more because it was cheap to borrow, so they could afford to pay more. Drives house prices up even further, right? And then there's no more supply, so that's not deteriorating, and then suddenly rates go up. So the bridge to home ownership just gets further and further, and that's why I say the quicker you cross it, you're on the other side. You don't got to worry about it.
There it is.
Yeah.
Fuse is blown. You guys, that's the end of the episode. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be right back with another one.
Thank you.
You've been listening to TNT Unfiltered. Your host, Tyler Freed, is your Windermere real estate specialist, and Tim Lombardo is your go-to loan officer from Cornerstone Home Lending. With a combined 40 years of experience, they bring you the raw truths from the Pacific Northwest and beyond. The truth about everything real estate and financing related. We hope you've enjoyed the show, and we hope you've gotten something from it. Make sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe. Find Tyler on social media at Tyler Freed RE and Tim at Team Lombardo Loans. See you next time on TNT Unfiltered.